The movie begins with a text that states that between 1945 and 1962, the United States conducted 331 atmospheric nuclear tests. Today, the government denies the genetic effects caused by the radioactive fallout. In the New Mexico desert, 3 scientists are conducting a radiation check in the area. One of the scientists veers from the group as he continues to check the radiation level. Suddenly, an injured man jumps out, asking him for help. The scientist backs up before someone impales him in the head with a pickaxe, killing him instantly. The 2 scientists are then attacked, and the killer impales one of them and smashes him against a rock repeatedly until he is dead. The last scientist tries to run away, but he is killed too. The killer then chains all the dead bodies to his truck and drags them away. We then cut to an intro. We see videos of multiple nuclear tests conducted by the US, as well as the bomb being used in a war. Suddenly, images of mutated and disfigured children appear, which are caused by the radiation of the nuclear bombs. We then cut to an empty highway in the middle of the desert with an old gas station on the side. A man is sleeping in his home when he hears something outside. He grabs his shotgun and goes out, but doesn't see anyone. He calls for someone called Ruby, and he is being watched by someone. He continues to look around until he wanders into a restricted area. He goes near an abandoned mining tunnel, and we hear heavy breathing from inside the tunnel. The man goes back to his gas station to find a bag on his door. He screams to someone that it is over and that he is done. He takes the bag inside and opens it to find a camera, multiple pieces of jewelry, as well as a severed ear. He finds a wallet with a couple's picture inside before he hears a car honk outside. He goes out to find a man named Big Bob, his wife Ethel, their son Bobby, their daughters Brenda and Lynn, and Lynn's husband Doug, along with their baby daughter Catherine. The gas station attendant gets near the car only to get startled by the family's vicious dogs, Beauty and Beast. Doug is not happy that they decided to take a road trip instead of flying there, and says that Big Bob doesn't like him. While the family is out stretching their legs, someone, who looks like a little girl, steals a toy and a jacket from their car. Bobby goes to a small, dirty toilet to relieve himself, but he gets startled when someone looks at him through the cracks, which he assumes is Brenda. The family is heading to San Diego, California, for a family get-together. They ask the gas station attendant if he knows any fast roads, but he tells them that there is only one way there. Big Bob is revealed to be a former detective, and he is now trying to start his own private security firm. Their dog Beauty then gets out of the car and runs into the man's gas station. Lynn goes after her and gets into the man's room, where she finds the bag. Before she can learn any further, the man returns and asks what she is doing there. She tells him that she just came to get her dog before she immediately gets Beauty and returns to the family. The man realizes that she has seen the jewelry. After they finish filling up the gas, the family gets ready to get back on the road, but the gas station attendant returns. He tells Big Bob that there might be a shortcut that is not on the map. He tells him to take a left at a dirt road that leads through the hills and says that it will save them a couple of hours. The family then gets back on the road. They make their way through the dirt road, surrounded by multiple hills. After they drove a couple of miles, a hidden spike strip appears from the road and blows up their tires. The car swerves around before it crashes into a rock. They get out of their car, and thankfully, no one is hurt. Doug tries to call for help, but there is no signal. Big Bob tries to fix the car, but the car is completely totaled. Since they have no way of getting out of the desert, Big Bob gets an idea for him to walk back to the gas station for help while Doug goes in the other direction to see if he finds anyone nearby. The family sets up camp in their trailer as Brenda warms up in the sun. Big Bob gives Bobby a handgun in case of emergency, and he gets his revolver out. When Lynn gets into the trailer, she sees a kind of reflection on one of the hills in the distance. Before she can investigate further, she gets jump-scared by Bobby. Big Bob and Doug then get ready for the trip, and the family gets together to pray. Unbeknownst to the family, they are being watched by someone from a distance. We hear the man watching them growling and grunting. Afterwards, they begin their journey. The rest of the family starts to eat their lunch when one of their dogs, Beauty, runs off. Bobby goes after her as the dog continues to run deeper through the hills. Bobby looks for her when he suddenly starts to get stalked. A little girl continues to stalk him through the hills. Bobby then sees blood and finds Beauty dead. He sees that Beauty has been gutted, and he starts to run back. Unfortunately, he trips and falls down the hill and gets knocked out. The little girl then appears. She is a mutated child named Ruby, but she doesn't hurt Bobby. Then another mutated man named Goggle appears while he eats Beauty's leg. Meanwhile, Doug is looking for help when he reaches a massive crater filled with multiple cars. He goes down and investigates, where he finds multiple old abandoned cars, even some from the 19th century. He also finds a teddy bear doll inside one of the cars, which he takes. The camera pans upward, and we see many other craters formed by the nuclear tests over the years. Soon, nighttime comes as Big Bob finally makes it back to the gas station. He calls out for the gas station attendant, but the man is nowhere to be found. He goes into the station, but the man is not there either. Big Bob then gets into the man's room, where he finds the bag of stolen jewelry and also finds the severed ear. Big Bob immediately takes out his gun. He gets into a dark room and turns on the light. He finds many other stolen properties like IDs, money, and other stuff. He then sees articles on the wall that highlight the nuclear test's effect on the people, as well as a group of miners who refused to abandon their land and became victims of the nuclear tests. Big Bob then goes out and gets into the gas station attendant's car. He turns on the headlights to see the man's leg in the toilet. Big Bob gets out of the car and goes to investigate. He finds the gas station attendant inside, drunk. He cries and apologizes for his actions before he picks up his shotgun and blows off his own face. Then something in the dark starts to torment Big Bob. Big Bob randomly shoots his gun before he runs back to the car. Before he can drive away, a man appears from the back seat. He grabs Big Bob and smashes his head against the window repeatedly before carrying him inside the mining tunnel. Big Bob sees a bunch of mutated people arguing while they take him deeper inside the tunnel before he passes out. Back at the trailer, Lynn and the others are looking for Bobby. Ruby is sitting by his side while humming a song. She runs away when she hears Lynn calling out for him. Bobby then wakes up and returns to the trailer. Brenda assures him that Beauty will be fine, but Bobby doesn't say anything. He asks them if they have tried the radio, and Lynn tells him that they might have gotten a perverted call and heard breathing. The family then hears Beast, their other dog, barking outside. Bobby gets his gun and goes out, but Beast is nowhere to be found, and he hears Beast barking in the distance. Doug then returns. He has brought a baseball bat with many other brand new items from the junkyard he found. Elsewhere, Beast is wandering around when he comes across Beauty's carcass. Bobby is still troubled by what he has seen, but he didn't tell the family. He tries to convince the family to sleep together in the trailer, but Doug and Lynn go to sleep in the car. Doug assures Bobby that Big Bob will return and says they will look for him if he doesn't return within a couple of hours. Ethel, Brenda, Bobby, and baby Catherine then sleep in the trailer. Brenda opens a song through her earphones as she sleeps. Bobby then goes outside and starts to hear barking noises. He wanders around as someone gets in the trailer and turns on the lights. It is a big mutated man named Pluto. He touches Brenda's hair, who is asleep, before he takes off the blanket she was wearing. Bobby continues to look for Beast, but it is another mutated man barking. He runs back to the car and tries to warn Doug and Lynn, but when they don't believe him, he finally tells them that Beauty is dead. Inside the trailer, Brenda wakes up, but Pluto holds her mouth and subdues her. Doug and Bobby then try to get back to the trailer, but Pluto communicates to someone using a radio, and a fire in a tree in the distance is set ablaze. It is Big Bob, and he screams in agony as he is strapped to the burning tree. The entire family runs out to him, leaving Brenda and baby Catherine in the trailer. Another mutated man, Lizard, gets into the trailer. He eats the food he finds before he takes out one of their caged birds. He bites off the bird's head and drinks the blood. He then sees Pluto trying to rape Brenda. Lizard hits him with his gun and gets him off before he takes over. Pluto smashes the trailer in anger. Brenda tries to fight back, but Lizard punches and subdues her before he starts to rape her. She tries to scream for help, but the family is distracted by Big Bob. Pluto then hears baby Catherine crying, and he starts to play with her. Outside, Big Bob burns to a crisp as the family struggles to put out the fire. Lynn then hears baby Catherine crying and runs back to the trailer. She finds Lizard holding baby Catherine while Pluto is now assaulting Brenda. Lynn hits him with a pan, but Lizard points his gun at baby Catherine. He uses her daughter as leverage to sexually assault her too. Outside, the rest of the family puts out the fire, but Big Bob is no longer alive. Ethel hears the commotion from the trailer, and she grabs a rock and gets back. She tries to strike Lizard, but he shoots her. Lynn then uses this opportunity to grab a screwdriver and stab him in the leg. Unfortunately, Lizard points the gun at her and shoots her in the head. Bobby and Doug start to run back to the trailer, but Lizard and Pluto escape with baby Catherine. Lizard tries to execute Brenda, but he is out of bullets. He tells her he will return for her before he runs and escapes with Pluto. Bobby shoots at them, but they get away. Doug gets into the trailer to find Lynn on the floor while Ethel is bleeding out. Lynn wakes up, but she takes her last breath and dies. The other mutant, Goggle, is staying behind for recon, but he is found by Beast, who bites and mauls him to death. Inside the trailer, Ethel bleeds out and dies too. Bobby tries to go after the mutants by himself, but Doug stops him and tells him that they need a plan first. They then hear the mutants talk with a walkie-talkie outside. They get out to find Goggles' severed hand with the walkie-talkie in hand and find Beast. Doug uses the walkie-talkie to ask the mutants what they want, but the mutants don't talk back, but instead let him hear baby Catherine's cry. The next morning, Doug, along with Beast, sets out to rescue baby Catherine. He follows Lizard's blood trail from his injured leg and reaches an abandoned mining tunnel. He gets inside the tunnel and finds multiple old miners' graves. Beast then leads him outside, and he sees a small town in the distance. Back at the trailer, Bobby and Brenda are setting up traps. They burn a tire in the hopes of someone seeing it. Brenda hopes that someone will see it, but Bobby crashes out and tells her that no one will come to save them. Brenda starts to cry, and Bobby apologizes and gives her a hug. Doug and Beast reach the town, which is an old, abandoned nuclear testing village. He goes around until he finds a working generator. He looks through one of the house's windows and sees baby Catherine. Before he can rescue her, he sees another big, mutated man named Cyst going around dragging a dead body. Beast makes a sound, and Cyst hears it. He turns around and looks around, but Doug and Beast hide in an old car there. After Cyst goes away, Doug gets out to rescue baby Catherine and orders Beast to stay put. Doug gets in the house and sees another mutated woman, Big Mama, watching TV as she brushes the hair of a mannequin doll. Doug reaches baby Catherine and starts to quietly escape with her. But he gets found by Big Mama, who hits him and knocks him out. Back at the trailer, Brenda and Bobby gather their family's dead bodies inside the car before they mourn them. Doug wakes up inside an icebox containing previous victims' dismembered remains. He manages to break free and starts to go around the house holding his baseball bat. Beast is locked inside the car, but he finds an opening and runs out. Doug finds a dead body there with a flag sticking out of its head before he hears someone singing. He comes across another paralyzed mutant named Big Brains. Doug asks him where his daughter is, but Big Brains says he doesn't know, as he has never left the house. He tells Doug that his people, meaning the government, asked their families to leave their town and destroyed their homes. They went into the mines as the government set up the nuclear tests. And after years of exposure to the radiation, they turned into what they are now. Big Brains then laughs and says breakfast time before Doug gets attacked by Pluto. Pluto tries to kill him with an axe as Doug desperately tries to get away. Before Pluto can kill him, he gets attacked by Beast, who bites his arm. Doug uses this chance to grab his baseball bat and lock himself inside a bathroom. Beast continues to bite Pluto until he throws him off. Doug blocks the door with a bathtub and starts to wait for Pluto to come in so he can strike him. But Pluto bursts in through the walls and starts to attack him. Doug tries to pick up his baseball bat, but Pluto splits it in half. Doug uses the broken bat to stab Pluto, but Pluto pulls out the bat before hitting Doug. He then angrily starts to throw Doug around before he cuts off his fingers using the axe. As a final act, Doug holds out a screwdriver. Pluto and Big Brain start to laugh as they make fun of him, but Doug stabs Pluto in the foot. He then grabs the flag from the dead body there and uses it to stab Pluto in the throat. Doug then grabs his axe and hits Pluto in the head with it, finally killing him. Outside, Cyst hears the commotion and starts to make his way there while holding a shotgun. But Doug was hiding, and he strikes him with the axe multiple times and drops him to the ground. He then uses the axe's pointy side to strike him in the head one more time and kills him. Big Brain is still in the house when he is found by Beast. Beast attacks him and mauls him to death. Elsewhere, Ruby is playing with baby Catherine as Lizard gets a butcher knife and gets ready to kill baby Catherine. Doug looks for his daughter, now holding Cyst's shotgun, and gets into one of the houses. There, he finds other mutated children. Lizard goes to kill baby Catherine, but Ruby blocks his way. He pushes Ruby away, and she runs out. Lizard raises his butcher knife to attack, and he takes off the cover only to find a pig there. Doug goes outside and sees Ruby escaping with baby Catherine through the hills. Back at the trailer, Brenda and Bobby hear the alarm they set up going off. Bobby gets out his gun, and they start to look around. They find that Ethel's dead body is missing from the car. Bobby orders Brenda to get back to the trailer, and he starts to follow the blood trail. He sees another mutant man named Jupiter eating Ethel's body. Jupiter sees him and starts to chase him. Bobby runs back to the trailer as he fires his gun at Jupiter. Inside the trailer, Brenda sets up gas cylinders and opens them. Bobby manages to shoot Jupiter twice, but he runs out of bullets. He gets back to the trailer and locks the door before he sets up matches under the door. Before they can escape, Jupiter attacks and holds Brenda through the window. Bobby quickly grabs a fishhook string and ties his hand against the window, freeing Brenda. The two escape through another window and run to the hills. Jupiter finally manages to free himself and tries to get into the trailer, but he causes the matches to light up and the trailer explodes. Elsewhere, Doug manages to catch up to Ruby. Before she can give him his daughter back, he gets attacked by Lizard. Lizard makes him drop the shotgun and starts to beat him up. Doug tries to fight back, but Lizard uses a chain of spikes to defeat him and knock him out. Ruby continues to escape with baby Catherine as Lizard goes after them. Doug wakes up and sees the shotgun nearby. Lizard catches Ruby, but Doug returns and strikes him with the shotgun. He beats him a couple of times before he shoots him with the shotgun. He shoots him multiple times until Lizard drops dead. Ruby finally hands baby Catherine over, but Lizard gets back up and grabs the shotgun. Before he can shoot Doug and baby Catherine, Ruby runs and tackles him off a cliff, sending them both falling to their death. Back at the trailer, Bobby and Brenda find Jupiter alive but heavily wounded from their traps. He laughs and tries to attack, but Brenda runs over and kills him with a pickaxe to the head. Before the siblings get away, Doug returns with baby Catherine and Beast. Bobby and Brenda then reunite with Doug, baby Catherine, and Beast. As the survivors embrace, an unknown mutant watches them from afar through binoculars.